Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remain standing for the playing of O Canada, and you may sing along. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Honored guests and award recipients, it is my pleasure to invite you and to welcome you to the Investiture of Life-Saving and Bravery Awards for the province of British Columbia. The RCHA has been recognizing bravery across Canada since about 1894, and it is indeed my pleasure to meet approximately 20 recipients who have in essence saved 21 lives in this province. As a result, we have this investiture. Dozens more, of course, were acted out of harm's way as well. They are alive today because of your bravery, because you cared enough to respond, and a lot of people do not. However, to bring greetings and welcome us to the territory, Westbank First Nation Chief Roxanne Lindley.
Good afternoon. My name is Roxanne Lindley, and I'm the Chief of the Westbank First Nation. On behalf of our council, I would like to welcome each and every one of you to our territory. It's an honor today to be here to recognize the heroes of our community and of our province. And I'm really happy, I'm really pleased, and I'm really proud of the steps that the individuals have taken. I look forward to hearing what each of you had done and how you've made a difference. And I applaud each and every one of you. I applaud the families. I applaud the heroes. And it's a real honor for me to be here, to know that I will be amongst people who have really made a difference, whether it be in our community, in our province. I think that's really important, and it's really nice to see the younger children here, to look at the role models, because that's what you are. So I just want to honor you, acknowledge you, and say that you're really amazing people and the value that you bring. Even to myself, I look forward to hearing and knowing and being able to share with our council and our community members some of the stories of courage. So hands up to all of you that have taken that step to be wonderful human beings. I honor you and I acknowledge you. Limlimt.
Thank you, Chief Lindsay. To bring greetings on behalf of the City of West Kelowna, Mayor Doug Findlater.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Lieutenant Governor Judith Guichon. Good afternoon, everyone who is here. Glad to have you in West Kelowna, and welcome to you all and award recipients. Thank you to the Royal Canadian Humane Association for having me, inviting me. I'm honored to be invited to help you recognize the 20 children, teens, and adults that have shown tremendous acts of heroism and bravery throughout our amazing province. And I really do thank the Humane Association for bringing these awards to West Kelowna. We're really honored to have these awards. I understand they're usually at Government House in Victoria or at the RCMP headquarters in the Lower Mainland. So real breakthrough to have this ceremony right here in the Lions Hall in the city of West Kelowna. Today we're honoring award recipients who are brave Canadians. Your courage, your willingness to risk yourself to help others and not to be afraid is to be commended. Poet William Blake said the most sublime act is to set another before you. That is what you have done. You have thought of others before yourself while laying your own life on the line. You may have entered a burning building or ice water, to name a few heroic acts we're aware of, to help someone in a danger without a thought. Or maybe you did think, but you felt it was more important. You've shown good citizenship during a serious situation without any hesitation. People like you are uncommon. Most of us can't imagine what we would do in an emergency situation such as you faced. Many would choose not to act, to think that another life is just as important as their own. Keeps fear away. You broke through the fear with determination to help someone you did not know in most cases. You're courageous, and we're very proud of you. Thank you for your selflessness and for your effort and for putting others before yourself. On behalf of the citizens and the Council of the City of West Kelowna, congratulations on your well-deserved recognition. Thanks.
Thank you, Mayor Findlater. We are privileged today to be in the presence of Her Honor, the Honorable Judith Guichon, Lieutenant Governor of British Columbia and patron of the Royal Canadian Humane Association. Therefore, if it please Your Honor, may we begin the presentation of awards. The first recipient, ladies and gentlemen, is Aftar Hathi. He is unfortunately unable to attend. Alternate arrangements will be made by the Society to get his award to him. Kevin Labrecque. The citation, Your Honor, reads as follows. While driving to work around 5 a.m. on March 16, 2017, Kevin Labrecque came upon a vehicle stopped in the middle of a road in Langley, BC. He noticed a man who appeared to be unconscious slumped over the steering wheel. Kevin pulled over and ran to check on the driver. He called to the man, but there was no response, and suspecting a heart attack, he pulled the driver out of the car in order to administer CPR. As he did so, the car started to move forward. Kevin quickly placed the unconscious man on the ground and ran to stop the vehicle before it could do any damage or injury. He then called 911 and continued CPR to the still unconscious driver until EMS arrived. Sadly, the man could not be revived, and it was later determined that he had, in fact, suffered a fatal heart attack. For preventing others from being hurt by stopping a moving vehicle and for his efforts to save the life, Honorary Testimonial Certificate is awarded to Kevin Labrecque. Clifford Melbrew and Jason Van Wyk. On May 16th, 2015, night was just setting in at Sugar Lake. Cliff Melbrew was camping and having dinner when he heard screams for help coming from the lake. He immediately ran to his boat, joined by his cousin Jason Van Wyk, and they raced to the middle of the lake. There they found a capsized boat and 3 people floundering in the choppy, freezing water. The victims were not wearing life jackets. The cousins pulled 2 women and a man from the water as the victims were in shock and extremely cold, with no strength left to climb into the boat on their own. They were wrapped in blankets and placed next to a heater, which thankfully was aboard the boat. The quick response and first aid training by Cliff and Jason undoubtedly saved the 3 people from succumbing to hypothermia and drowning. For their immediate response to a life-threatening situation, the Honorary Testimonial Certificate is awarded to Cliff Melbrew. The Honorary Testimonial is similarly awarded to Jason Van Wyk. Lily Cox, Kate Hunter, Georgia Springate. On August the 18th, 2017, 2 females, approximately 13 and 20 years of age, were swimming at Crescent Beach in Surrey. They got caught in the currents and were unable to get back to shore. 11-year-old Lily Cox, 11-year-old Kate Hunter, and 11-year-old Georgia Springate, all of whom had taken a junior lifeguarding course that summer, were jumping off the pier, splashing around, when they noticed the 2 people in trouble. A friend of the older female asked if they could help her. Lily Cox immediately swam over to the 20-year-old victim and calmed her down. Despite the cold water and strong currents, Lily successfully assisted her to the pier ladder. She turned and swam after Kate Hunter and Georgia Springate, who already were swimming towards the fully dressed 13-year-old girl. She was about 50 meters from shore, caught in the currents, getting tired and going down. Lily joined them, and they formed a circle around the victim to help her stay up and to keep her calm. The 3 rescuers assisted the girl back towards the pier, but the currents were too strong, pushing them all back. Knowing the conditions, they veered off, deciding to push and pull the girl towards the shoreline. They were able to get to shallower water and walked the girl to safety. Undoubtedly, the 3 rescuers helped save the 2 females. For risking their own lives to save 2 people from drowning, the Bronze Medal for Bravery is awarded to Lily Cox. The Bronze Medal for Bravery is similarly awarded to Kate Hunter. And the Bronze Medal is also awarded to Georgia Springate. Constable Cole Ebling is unable to attend, and again, the organization will get his award to him. Constable Brian Fletcher and Derek Viggers. On the night of March 5, 2016, two men were returning home from Sydney in a 10-foot flat-bottomed skiff when it was flipped by a wave, tossing both men into the ocean. There were life jackets in the boat, but the men were not wearing them. They managed to cling to their capsized skiff in the freezing water for about a half an hour, suffering from hypothermia and yelling for help. Residents in the area near Beaufort Road heard the commotion and called 911. Sydney North Saanich RCMP responded, along with fire crews who lit up the beach with flashlights. RCMP Constable Brian Fletcher borrowed a kayak and life jackets from a nearby residence and started to paddle towards the sound coming from the overturned boat. He was joined by Derek Viggers, a C2 operator who was in the area and had picked up the Marine emergency broadcast. The victims were over 100 meters offshore in the dark, rough sea. Constable Fletcher reached the area and spotted the two victims from his kayak, and with a small flashlight, he was able to illuminate the scene, allowing Derek to make his way towards them. When he was close by, he helped the constable to drag the two men aboard his large vessel. Once on board, the victims were taken to a boat ramp where BC paramedics were waiting to transport the men to hospital. For risking his life to save two men from drowning, the Bronze Medal for Bravery is awarded to Constable Brian Fletcher. For his actions in the rescue, the Honorary Testimonial is awarded to Derek Viggers. Flight Sergeants Patrick Hamer and Braden Koning. On October 17th, 2015, 5 senior air cadets set up a tent on a wooden platform they had built near Terrace, BC. That night, around 1:30 a.m., a fire broke out from a wood stove in the tent. Patrick Hamer woke up feeling the heat and discovered that the entire wall of the tent was on fire, blocking the only exit. He quickly roused the others, and together with Braden Koning, they managed to partially extinguish the flames using water from a container. They used their knives to cut their way out and got rid of most of the smoldering canvas. By now, the other boys were fully awake and coughing, so Patrick and Braden helped them outside. The two cadets then kicked out the supporting center post in the tent, which was blazing away, threw it outside, and watered it down. They replaced the post with a spare one, And Braden went to the creek and filled the water buckets, and the two boys removed the stove from the tent. Had the fire continued any further, the tent would have collapsed, undoubtedly causing bodily harm. All the boys suffered smoke inhalation, and Patrick had burned his hand. For their swift actions in stopping a fire from spreading and saving others from injuries or worse, the Bronze Medal for Bravery is awarded to Patrick Hamer. A bronze medal is similarly awarded for Braden Koning. Matt Harding. On the night of December 22, 2016, a man in a pickup truck was driving on a dimly lit road in Langley, BC. Suddenly, the pickup truck spun out of control on some black ice, and it rolled into a 4-foot deep ditch filled with water. The truck landed upside down, suspending the driver, and it immediately started to fill with water. Matt Harding stopped his vehicle to help and found the panicking driver, who realized he was going to drown, still trapped inside. Due to the configuration of the ditch, the vehicle was wedged in so the doors could not be opened. Matt somehow managed to kick in the driver's side window. When he reached inside, he cut his hands on the broken glass, but he was able to wrestle the driver down and finally helped to pull him out. The shaken driver had only suffered some minor injuries. For his quick actions in saving a panicking driver from drowning, the Bronze Medal for Bravery is awarded to Matt Harding. David Hillary and Lucas Truman. On the evening of October 31, 2016, a mobile home located in Paradise Mobile Home Park in West Kelowna caught fire. It consumed the home's front porch and was quickly spreading to the rest of the structure. A woman was trapped inside the smoke-filled burning residence, unable to open the rear door. David Hillary and Lucas Truman noticed the smoke, ran to the residence, and vaulted over the fence into the backyard to try to rescue the homeowner. The men tried to kick in the back door, but the flames and thick smoke made it impossible to enter. They did, however, see the woman near a window in the back of the home, and Lucas found a ladder. He quickly propped it up, steadied it, while David climbed up and went partway through the smoke-filled window. Despite the dense smoke, David managed to grab the disoriented woman and pull her out. Lucas helped David bring the woman down the ladder to safety. She was suffering from smoke inhalation and had injured her shoulders. For his efforts to save a woman's life from a burning trailer, the Bronze Medal for Bravery is awarded to David Hillary. For his presence of mind and help in the rescue, the Honorary Testimonial Certificate is awarded to Lucas Truman. Christopher Lang, Daniel Wakefield. It was about 2 a.m. in the morning of October the 9th, 2016, when Dan Wakefield and Christopher Lang were driving on Highway 1 near Surrey, BC. A car sped past them. It spun out of control, hit a post, and literally exploded. Dan Wakefield, who was driving, had to swerve to avoid a falling pole, then drove through the debris and smoke before coming to a stop. The two men ran to the car which had left the highway. Smoke and flames were billowing from it as Chris noticed that the crumpled driver's side door was open. He pried it open further and pulled the driver out, passing him to Dan, who helped the man to safety. Chris ran back and helped the female passenger out of the smoking vehicle and brought her to safety. Just after the victims were out, the car exploded once more, and it was now fully engulfed in flames. Both the driver and the passengers were bloodied, shaken, and had to be taken away by ambulance. For his heroic action in pulling out two victims from a burning vehicle, the Bronze Medal for Bravery is awarded to Christopher Lang. For his assistance in the rescue, the Honorary Testimonial Certificate is awarded to Dan Wakefield. Constable Justin Lee. On March 2nd, 2017, RCMP Constable Justin Lee was working traffic duty and received a call about a woman in distress on the Arthur Lang Bridge in Richmond, BC. When he reached the location, he heard that she had jumped into the Fraser River. Constable Lee ran to the riverbank, and despite falling snow, he managed to spot the woman in the water holding onto a floating log. Dropping his duty belt and phone, he grabbed a life vest and dove into the freezing water, still wearing his uniform and boots. Despite mind-numbing cold, he managed to reach her in a few minutes and saw that she was confused but willing to be rescued. Constable Lee managed to maneuver her under the log and pulled her up and safely to shore. Both suffered hypothermia, were taken to hospital, and have now fully recovered. For going above and beyond the call of duty to save another from drowning, the Bronze Medal for Bravery is awarded to Constable Justin Lee. Bronson Norton. Bronson Norton was walking in an East Vancouver neighborhood on March 26, 2015, when he heard a woman screaming for help. Although he did not know anyone in the area, he decided to investigate and determined the screams were coming from a nearby residence. He rushed inside the woman's home and found a man had broken into the residence using a large rock and a knife. He had tied her up, was choking her, and viciously assaulting her. Bronson immediately grabbed the attacker, a fight broke out, and the confrontation moved out into the streets, allowing the victim to escape. Neighbors now stepped in to help detain the savage rapist until police arrived. The woman sustained serious injuries, including 2 severed fingers, but she has since recovered from her physical injuries. For his heroic and selfless actions in saving a woman's life in a brutal attack, the Bronze Medal for Bravery is awarded to Bronson Norton. Sonny Walterhouse and Thomas Walterhouse. Thomas is unable to attend, and Sonny will accept the award on his behalf. On a sunny afternoon on September 11, 2016, 4 young men were canoeing on the Skeena River near Terrace, BC. They had only 3 life jackets with them, but Wolf Ellert told them that he was a good swimmer and he could go without one. As they came to a wide portion of the river, the canoe flipped, sending all 4 men into the cold water. The 2 brothers, Sonny and Thomas, swam to the shore while Wolf Ellert and Andrew Walker held onto the canoe for a while. Then they let go and tried to make it to shore as well. Andrew eventually did make it, but Wolf was caught in a strong current which was pulling him further downriver. He was bobbing in the water, unable to continue, and feeling the effects of the freezing water. Sonny noticed his friend in serious trouble, so he decided to swim to his aid. Thomas took off his life jacket and gave it to Sonny, saying one was not enough between the 2 of them. Sonny swam out some 40 meters to Wolf, helped him put on the second life jackets, and both men made it to shore. For saving his friend from drowning in the frigid and fast-flowing Skeena River, the Bronze Medal for Bravery is awarded to Sonny Walterhouse. And for his presence of mind, the Honorary Testimonial Certificate is awarded to Thomas Walterhouse. Sonny accepting. Brandon Lawrence. Janet Lawrence, his mother, will be accepting this posthumous award. On March 7th, 2016, a man was snowmobiling on the Salmon River located just north of Prince George, BC. He was riding across the ice when he came to a stretch of open water. He decided to gun the motor and use the sled's speed to get to the other sheet of ice. Unfortunately, his snowmobile did not hydroplane far enough, and he ended up in the freezing water. Several attempts were made by onlookers to rescue him, but all were unsuccessful. Brandon Lawrence ran from the shore and without any hesitation jumped into the water to try and rescue his friend. However, both men were swept under a large portion of ice covering the width of the river. They popped up 3 minutes later on the other side of the icefall, but that was the last time they were seen. Rescue teams were not able to locate them after almost 3 days of searching. For giving his life in attempting to save his friend, the Silver Medal for Bravery is awarded to Brandon Lawrence. Janet Lawrence accepting. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the presentation of awards. It is now my pleasure to invite Her Honor Judith Guichon, the Lieutenant Governor of British Columbia, to address the Assembly.
I won't stand on my tiptoes like the chief did. Award honorees, Mr. Rudolf, we've been doing this for years, and I've been mispronouncing your name for years. Berghuys. National President, Royal Canadian Humane Association. Your Worship, Chief Roxanne, proud families and friends. It's truly an honor, such an honor, to join you here this afternoon for the 2017 Royal Canadian Humane Association Bravery Awards. I would like to begin by acknowledging with respect the long history, the wisdom, and the culture of the Westbank First Nations on whose traditional territory we gather for this ceremony. The fortitude and resilience of the human spirit never ceases to amaze me. And I think I've done this ceremony all 4 years now. And the stories, they never cease to amaze. When we hear of the unbelievable stories of people such as you folks that we're honoring today, I am so amazed at your ability to act quickly and effectively without hesitation and to manage to do the right thing. You know how to immediately find a solution rather than becoming part of the problem. I've been around long enough to know if there's a bad situation, I better go make the coffee and get the blankets and stay out of the way and let people who know what to do it, because you folks just know how to do the right thing. Some of us are more, we become part of the problem. So I've learned, put the coffee on, let folks like you do what you do so well. Canada, British Columbia, we're a unique community. We have a large land base, but a small population. And many of our communities are quite remote. And people in these rural areas, and most of our smaller communities, they tend to know, they usually know their neighbors, and they worry about their neighbors, and they particularly worry when crisis hit, as it did this year in so many parts of British Columbia with fires. We watched in horror with those fires this summer, and it was such widespread and went on all summer long. But because we have a smaller population, we're more connected. I think we're very much more connected. Wherever we go, we find we have connections. And most of us know someone in that community that has been affected either by a loss or by an accident or by a fire. The outpouring of help and concern throughout the province is heartwarming. I was privileged to visit the evacuation center in Kamloops this summer and saw firsthand how everybody was caring for the people that had to be out of their homes. Help came from every corner of the province. Again, hearing the stories and the citations of this year's, of all of these honorees today, it really does. It makes you feel that we're very, very privileged to be proud Canadians, proud British Columbians. We are so proud of all of you. It is interesting, we did hear from time to time that life jackets were in the boats, or life jackets were there, but we still don't always put them on. We'll have to work on that one, because I think 9 out of the 14 incidents involved water. So often water's involved. And thank heavens that our young people are taking life-saving courses and ready at such a young age to jump in and do the right thing. It's marvelous, and I'm so glad to see all our young people getting trained. It's wonderful, even at 11 years old. It proves that water safety programs are so important. But thank you all for your bravery. Thank you for not hesitating to do what you know. Just jump in and do it. You had courage, and you stood right up. You got right to it and rescued folks in their time of need. It doesn't matter whether you knew them or not, whether they were old friends, new friends, or friends you hadn't yet met. So thank you for being role models, and I hope that these stories, I hope that the media publishes these stories. I hope that they're on the front page of papers so all our young people can read about you, our heroes. This is the news they need to hear. We don't spread it around enough. So thank you so much to the media for being here, and please tell these stories so that all our young people can learn about these heroes. Thank you to all of you for being there where you were needed.
Thank you, Your Honor. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes the investiture ceremony. I would ask you now to please rise for God Save the Queen. And I will ask you to remain standing until the vice-regal party and the honored guests depart. Ladies and gentlemen, God Save the Queen.